Hey everyone, it's your favorite gentleman, Marcus Norman of the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. And today you all are in for a treat. We have these powerhouse speakers. These ladies are destiny and they are creating a vision and they are true visionaries and they're paving the way and helping us strategize and get access to something that a lot of us are missing out on. And it's access to getting these grants and applying for the right grants for your business. And they help partner with you and their partnerships. And they've been doing this for a number of years. And they help us here on the Gentleman Style Podcast today to help us take our business to the next level. So I don't want to hold these ladies back. Here we go. Welcome to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I'm Marcus, your favorite host, and I have these two powerhouse ladies, dynamic team of brains and beauty. They are titans of industry, Miss Monica and Andrea Wooten. Miss Monica Williams is off for 15 years of grant writing experience, fund development, consulting, training, career coaching, and workforce development experience. Miss Monica is also the co-owner and director of Community Partnerships for Community Grant Connectors, which is what we are going to talk about today because we need help. Help us, help me, help you do better. Her partner, Miss Andrea, brings over 18 years of leadership and management in healthcare administration, project management, grant writing, of course, and youth development experience. Miss Andrea is also the co-owner and the director of her project management for Community Grant Connectors, where she also provides support with fund development and grant writing skills. And so I'm going to bring these two ladies to the stage to help me do better in business. And we're going to ask some questions. We're going to ask the tough questions. And I think they're ready for it. I think they're up for it. Help me welcome to the stage the incredible Andrea Wooten and Miss Monica Williams. Welcome to Gentleman Style Podcast Show, ladies. How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Doing good. Broke. I need.
Let's talk.
My business. I need to take my business to the next level. We are here to help us. I meant what I said. Help us take our business to the next level. And that's something that's kind of came out in this pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. People were needing access. You got PPP loans, you got stimuluses all over the place, and just money just seemed to be flying everywhere. But this is legal money. What we're here to talk about here today is legal money. No going to jail with this one. And we have the experts, you all, to help us get access to what we truly need. And so I want to ask, first off, how did you two meet? Because that is a unique partnership in itself. How did you two ladies meet?
I love this question. 2 years ago, I was in the vision mode, I call it, and planning on what I wanted to do in between leaving the corporate world and having the opportunity to take care of my mother and father. I was on Facebook one evening and I was reading my messages, and I had noticed Monica, when she speaks or writes, you've got to really sit down and take some time and pay attention because it's no 1, 2, 3 sentences. She really goes deep. And I just told her, I said, I don't know how I know you or how we even got connected on Facebook, but when the opportunity comes, I'd like you to be my business partner for a vision I'm getting here. Mm-hmm. Progress 2 years forward, here we are. I reached out to her one day and I said, Monica, I'm ready. Parents are stable. I'm ready. And she was ready. She said, perfect timing. So that's how we got connected. And I say it's a divine intervention of doing his work for the right people. I cannot say any deeper aspect. And that's how we met.
Absolutely. Ms. Monica, is that how you remember it?
Yeah, and I think the beautiful thing is we really are yin and yang, but in a good way. We just balance each other out. We just really do. And both of us had situations in our lives where we knew we had family things. I had gone through breast cancer. She had dealt with some things. I had taken care of a father couple of years ago, my daughter. And so at this point in our lives, we were just like, you know what? We need to walk in our purpose and do it in a way where our families are also taken care of. So lo and behold, like she said, it all just has unfolded, and here we are.
So
Yes.
you both, what I just heard is you both just saw each other across the room and you locked in and you saw the business partnership literally unfolding before the connection was truly made. Miss
Yeah.
Wooten, that's huge, right? You
And
just
Marcus, that sounds like my husband. When God brings my husband, that's how I want it to be. But yes, that's essentially, yes. So essentially, and I had done grants before I became a writer and an author. So I think I just have written for a long time, but I do, like most people say, they do have to sit and drink coffee or something when I write, even my text messages. So it just is what it is. But she's right, and you're right.
that's true. That's true.
Yes. It
Thank you
was
for that.
it
How,
was
how
really a beautiful thing for me.
it was
Um,
beautiful. It
Yeah.
was God sent the heavens
Oh,
parted open.
I just knew. I just knew. I just told her one day we will be working together. I don't know how exactly, but we will be. And here we are.
yeah.
Yes.
And so tell us, how did you all come up with the name Community Grant Connectors? And what is the problem that you all are addressing in the community?
Excellent, Monica.
Well, I think one, we were eating. So food is always involved with community grant connectors a lot. So just so you know, if you hire us on, bring food. No, I'm just kidding. But
That's
we just were
bribing, y'all.
really
Don't bribe them.
yeah,
Right.
legal bribery. Um Again, our communities, but I've for the grants I've done for over 20 years. I started by doing this at my college at Eastern New Mexico University. I was on the other side of the table where I got to help lead how we decide funds were going to be dispersed on the college campus. And then my first grant writing job was at the Boys and Girls Club. I was the director of development for in Albuquerque. And the first day on the job was the United Way proposal. And I was like, what? But we got awarded. It happened. And I don't think enough people, like you said, with 2020, what we all got hit with, funders want to see their money stretched far and wide even more. So community partnerships, collaborations. We can't do this life alone. None of us were intended to do this life alone. And so as we sat and we talked, community is just kind of, again, divinely it came up, and we're like, we want to serve the community. So because we need more of the community served, and so it just kept coming up, and we're like, and connecting. So for example, when we're with clients, and if a client says, hey, they're also thinking about doing this, and we know another community resource, and I'm a networker and connector by nature. I think that's really one of my gifts. But we start thinking and we ask them, hey, would you want to connect with this person, or once they become clients? And it's just worked out that way. Andrea?
Yes. And to complete that, the connecting part for me, I've been in Arizona all my life. I'm a huge network of individuals that I know that does so many vast areas of expertise. I'm like, one day I need to put everybody together because everybody has a good vision and a good purpose. And I go back to one thing: it takes a community to raise each other. And it only makes sense. It only makes sense instead of everybody trying to do their own little entity and all that. Bring it together, unite each other, and bring it up and bring the money into the community where it's really needed. And we're not fighting each other for it.
Yeah.
And right now, Marcus, right now in this nation, this is just my opinion, it's not community grant connector, but there is such a separateness and self-centeredness that we've lost sight of. If we say the nation is one nation, then we need connect as one nation. We're trying to separate more than I'd ever seen in my life. And so Andrea and I believe what we're called to do is to really continue to connect and spread the funding, but also connect each other. We cannot do this alone. I don't care who you are. And the more you try and do it alone, the more of a struggle you're going to have, I believe.
Yes.
Ooh, ooh. I want to give you ladies a microphone so you can drop it right now. That was a mic drop moment. that was right on time. That was right on time. And that's what we need to hear, right? We are so concerned about what the other person is doing and I need to do better than him, but we're actually achieving the same goal. We're after the same thing. So why not bring those two together? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing you all say. And that's
Yeah.
what Community Grant Connectors is all about. And so that is unique and that's powerful. What are some common mistakes that you all, in your experience, you have, you resume combined, you have over what, 40 years plus experience. What are some common mistakes that we are making besides not working together? What are some common mistakes that you all are seeing when it comes to the process of applying and going through the rigmaroles of applying for grants?
I think one of the things is just not being ready to apply for grants. One of the things we'll talk about later on in the broadcast is the fund development, and it really is a strategy. The more people I've talked to over the years, they're really not ready. They don't have data gathered. They really don't understand their mission. And this is one of the biggest things for me. Anytime I've been on grant teams, I feel like the individuals, the leaders at the top who apply for the grants really don't take into consideration the stakeholders at the bottom who are actually implementing your grant. You want every stakeholder who's a part of making sure that grant gets implemented and implemented well and your clients are taken care of. They need to be part of that. So for example, when we're doing a grant, and Andrea does the project management piece as we partner on that as well. But I want everybody on the team who's going to execute this grant to understand what is the purpose of it. So I don't think teams understand well enough about how everybody fits into the puzzle to make this work. How do you keep it sustainable? And I think sometimes people are so excited to get the money, the higher ups, that they forget, well, you're not implementing it. Does this work for the people who are working for you to implement it? So for me, that's one of the big issues. And we have a workshop tomorrow, so I'm not going to give everything away, but you don't have to be a 501c3 just to go for grants. People think you have to just only be, you don't have to be a 501c3 only to go for grants.
I don't.
No, you don't.
So I don't have to be a nonprofit in order to apply for a grant. So I can be a profit organization and still apply for grant funding.
It depends on what the grant is. Yes.
Wow. Woo. I didn't know that. How long does this process typically take? What is a timeline? What's a reasonable timeline or an average? Doesn't have to be exact because, like you said earlier, it depends on each business. But what's the timeline that people can expect for grants when applying, when going through that process, that funding process?
Andrea,
Sure.
you want to take
Yeah,
that?
great question. When you say time, that's when my ears chime in. My expertise, again, Marcus, is that keeping everybody in order and making the process flow in a timely, effective managed process. It can vary. It all depends on what the grant period is. But what we like to do is make it a realistic approach. We can't do a grant in 2 weeks if it's due next week. So what we try to do is bring reality to the grant. Is this a viable grant for the organization? And then at that point, that's when the time process, the clock starts ticking and the project management piece begins, meaning getting everybody involved and on board, having timelines to where the team meets certain goals, and just keeping everybody accountable and engaged. So that is my expertise, and that's what I love to do to make it a sustainable project, and that we are moving forward with a consistent movement.
Makes sense. And that's huge. And that's important. So you keep us on track.
Yes, I'm the timekeeper. That's and I look back in my life now as far as the community and all that. That's all I've ever done is keeping things in order. People bring me on board to keep things in order and to make the process move. So that's my niche. That's what I love to do. And it's very important when you're working with wanting to get grants in a timely manner. Yeah, you can get them in a timely manner, but are they efficient? Is quality? There's just a whole lot to take into account.
True. Very true. And we appreciate you. I appreciate you for the great work. It's not easy. It's not an easy process. And I wanted to bring this up on the big screen. This is what Miss Monica and Miss Andrea alluded to earlier. This is the time. They actually teach this. They're coaching to this, and they're answering the in-depth questions live tomorrow. So you have an opportunity to, if you are watching this show right now, you have an opportunity to connect with them right now before this March 1st. That's tomorrow, y'all. We're already in March. Wow, this year has gone by. Wow, I'm lost. What is going on? But connect. So I just wanted to bring this up and share what these ladies are doing, and it is necessary.
Yes.
I did not want to pass that. I did not want to go over that. And so, hey, we have one commercial break. We got to pay the bills, y'all. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Good day, podcast listeners. This is your boy, Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I wanted to let you guys know that we will be rolling out a new feature and adding a join sponsor button next to the subscriber button here at the bottom of your screen. Once you click the button, it will display 3 membership levels. Gentleman Gentry, which is our entry level, Duke Duchess, which is our season level, and the Emperor and Empress, which is our most sophisticated level, which you will receive unique perks and benefits at each differing level and gain access to our community tab. We will also be sharing polls, upcoming events, and interviews, as well as receive feedback from our sponsors directly. Your support helps me find new and exciting guests to bring to the stage live. Well, in order to get the higher end speakers, it requires, well, some, you guessed it, money. So thank you for tuning in to my channel. And if becoming a sponsor sounds good to you, then select the join button below and choose your desired sponsor level. Let's continue to grow and serve the future of generations of men and women to come. Love you guys. Bye. Welcome back to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I have these two lovely ladies, Miss Monica Williams and Andrea Wooten. They are helping us do better business, and they're walking through and they're spilling some tea. We can't spill all the tea.
Nope.
Some tea is fund development process and what you can expect when partnering with them to walk through. They're going to walk with you. They're going to hold their hand, but they're not going to do the work for you, right? You have to take charge of your own life. And what they just broke down is some of the issues and some of the problems that we're facing as a community to get access to, dare I say it, some of this free money, right? We don't want you to go to jail. We don't want people to go to jail. We saw a lot of this in COVID-19 with PPP loans and a lot of celebrities and big high officials messing up the funding process. And so, and here I found 2 experts. I was referred these 2 experts that are going to help walk you through that process. And so thank you, ladies, for being here today. This is huge. What are some common myths that people have, or what are some misconceptions that we have about grant, the funding process and accessing grants? It's not just I got the money, because you said it earlier. I got the money, now I can just spend it on things. There's guidelines, there's stipulations to that money, right?
Yes. And I've seen situations where the money has to be given back because people haven't spent it wisely. Again, the data, one of the biggest, it's not a myth, but people don't keep track of the data. And that's why sometimes the fund development plan is so important, because we want to see before we apply for the grant, what's your data? You've been in business for 5 years. Give us the last 2 years, for example, of data of how the program is run, testimonials. People just don't have enough information. And again, a myth is that you have to be a 501c3 only to apply for grants. True. We'll tell you more myths tomorrow, but that's where I'm sticking with that right now.
That's fair. That's fair. Can you share? We saw it on the flyer. What are the 5 W's and H to proper fund development? Are you able to share any of that?
Sure. And that comes from my degree is in journalism. So if you look at a news story, it's based on that. A lead story. You do broadcast, so you know your who, what, where, when, why, and how is always at the beginning of it's in the lead. And so we're looking at who you are, what you're about, where you're doing this at, what part of the country, your why, what's your mission, how are you going to do it? And then so the what for, what's the purpose? So just think about the who, what, where, when, and why as a question. Those are the things we kind of cover. So I'm not going to get specific because they need to come to the workshop to get the rest, but I'm leaving it there for now.
Come to the workshop, y'all. Connect. Miss Chanel said it earlier. You all are you guys local? Are you global? Who's your ideal client? Who's the kind of best clients that people can reach out to you for?
We are local, but we will go global. We have a lot of clients that we've gotten in different states, but even if we had to go international, I mean, we all can go international now if we needed to. I mean, if you want to fly us in international too, that'd be okay also.
Ah,
But I got to get my passport. But other than that, yeah, because we have technology, we can really work with companies across the nation and across the world. So that's,
absolutely.
And
yeah,
that is the idea and
to connect.
part of the connectivity that we're looking to do. Go above the borders, go beyond the borders, and connect as a nation and get our nation together. We need to get our nation together.
Mhm.
Absolutely true. What are some specific things? What are some specific things that you can walk us out through that fund development process? What's incorporated in that? You mentioned some of it, I think earlier, is what are you currently doing? You want to see what are you currently doing and how are you managing it so so you stay within those guidelines. But what are some other aspects that people don't know about when applying for funding?
One of the things that we will ask for is once we become a client of ours is we want to see a couple of the grants. We want to see a couple of the reasons why you haven't gotten funding. We also are going to look at, okay, what did you get funded for? But what happens is a lot of people just keep going for grants, 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 instead of really assessing why you're not getting them. We want to look at how you write. I want to look at it, does language need to be stronger? Does it need to be, formulated to more of a financial base instead of maybe a nonprofit base, depending on what the type of grant is. Have you answered the questions that they're asking for? Because this is the biggest problem. I used to teach adult basic ed also in GED. And the biggest issue is people don't follow directions. If a funder says, I want this in this section, you put that in that section, not in section 5A. They say they want it in 4B, put it in 4B. So that's part of what we want to do. But we need to see before you even apply. Let's say you apply for two grants that are very similar. We still want to stop and assess and make sure, like a job interview. And I'm not going to say much more because you got to come to the workshop tomorrow to find out why we call this an interview. But we really want to, and I'm a stickler for writing. So I'm looking, and so is Andrea. We're looking for grammatical stuff. I want it to be the creme de la creme. Because guess what? It is just like a job. The funder wants to know, I'm giving you, $100 million. I need to make sure you're really sustainable, and I want to see that you have given me a strong reason to give you that money. So they're looking at hundreds and thousands of people. So we want to make sure our clients come in at that top. And again, we cannot guarantee any award. So that is a myth also. No grant writer, I don't care. You could have the best grant writer in the world. They can be the best. Only the funder can ultimately decide, because people say, well, why do we pay you? Why do we need to pay you if you don't know you're going to get a grant? Well, it's hard work. Like Marcus said, it's a lot of work. We love what we do, but it is a lot of work. But that is one of the myths, that the grant writer can guarantee your funds. We cannot, but we'll work pretty darn hard to make sure you get not just one, but more than that. And as we'll work on that fund development plan, will help us be more strategic in helping you get that funding or apply on down the road.
Yeah, and I can add to that. Again, the purpose of going after a grant or funding is to make sure that you are a structured organization, you have a good strategy, and that you have a great system for tracking, and that you have the good support that is needed to keep it sustainable. So what happens is when there's an interest of a grant that comes across that the organization wants to look into, well, what Monica and I do is we dive into it to see if this is something even viable for them. We present it back to the organization, and if they go for our recommendations, then we move forward or not. But we try to make sure, and we just don't want to take your money and do grants and throw them out there. Okay, we did it. We want to make sure it's a viable grant. We don't want to waste your time, our time, or your money, because our vision is for trueness and to really support in the manner that's needed.
And Andrea said something, Marcus, that word, that's probably my favorite word when it comes to grant writing. I don't think even when I did this for the Boys and Girls Club, and they are an amazing organization, because I had to do their events, I had to deal with the board, I had to also do all the grants. So it was a continuous. But the sustainability, it's frustrating to me as a grant writer, and some are not like me. I get frustrated when we're just going for the money. I want to know what happens when when the grant period is over, but your clients still need the program, especially for youth and veterans. And what happens? Again, partnership, again, working together and connecting people, because you want to sustain this as long as you can. So again, that word to me is more important than the actual money that you're
Yes.
going to get.
So this is not a one and done type of business. You all are with from beginning until the very end of that partnership, right? You guys, you don't just stop at the project management piece. You don't just stop at making sure that we're meeting deadlines and all of that, but you also stay with them to make sure the capital is being utilized in the way that it was delivered on.
It can be. It depends on how they bring us in as a client. So some clients are, we get the grant done, grants done. But with the fund development, it's a strategy. Some people do fund development and the grant writing. So we've got three tiers and categories that people will work with us on. So yes, if you need that, we're going to put that in your plan with us moving forward.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I told y'all these ladies are the truth. See, I don't bring any this is not lukewarm interviews here. This is top shelf. We talking top shelf ladies. Round of applause for both of them. I love it. Wow, I'm getting more sauce than I even expected. We got one more commercial break. You guys stay tuned. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a reliable professional trucking and logistics service, you've come to the right place. Musa Trucking is a veteran-owned and operated premier transportation provider that can help with all of your trucking and logistics needs. Musa is revolutionizing the trucking industry through strategic partnerships, the development of core personnel, and the use of cutting-edge technology. Our inventory system ensures that cargo ends up divided into the right trucks and reaching the correct destination. Our drivers are dedicated to transporting goods efficiently and safely. Contact us today to get started by visiting the website on the screen or by calling 757-756-5246.
Are you a local business looking to offer your customers easy access to cash without having to travel miles? We're here to help. At Norman Legacy Investments, we provide free ATMs with free installation that provide a suitable investment for your business. Even better, we offer you some profit sharing and handle everything from start to finish. Just reach out to us today to schedule a free consultation.
We are back to the Gentleman Style Podcast show, and we have these incredible ladies, these partners, co-founders, who are talking about grant writing and their organization, Community Grant Connectors. And if you missed it, they just spilled some tea. You got to connect with them. They have a whole workshop tomorrow. I want to stress this. I can't get any stressier than that. Tomorrow, you have to connect. It's tonight is the cutoff. If you missed it, scroll back and we're going to bring that back up to the big screen in a little bit. But connect with these ladies. They're helping us walk through the fund development process. Both of them, and they are a true force to be reckoned with. Ladies, all of this, you threw out some big numbers that gave me some heart palpitations here earlier, and I'm just wondering, how much what does it cost? What does that range of services cost that you all provide? What should people expect when coming to you, capital wise?
So really quickly, so people can come to the workshop tomorrow, or if they want to just connect with us because they're looking for the services in general, they can still email us at the info@communitygrantconnector.com. But you're looking at on average about 2,000 kind of low end, and it can range, even more depending on, like I said, our tiers. We've got fund development and grant writing, or just grant writing. So if you're looking at grant writing, again, about $2,000 is kind of the range it about starts with.
Absolutely. Years. You have 30, 40 plus years of experience with these two ladies combined. So you all are in the right hands. I would not interview someone that is not the truth. And these ladies are the truth, and they're helping us do better. And I don't want anybody to go to jail. I hate to see that in the news. And so these leaders are going to help us keep us out of jail. Ladies, how can we connect? What are some resources? What are we can connect? You have a Facebook group that speaks to this, that teaches to this.
Yes, we are connected with Facebook, Community Grant Connectors. And then you can also email us at info@communitygrantconnectors.com or give us a call at 623-231-7767. And we'll be able to get you scheduled or to give you any kind of services that you are needing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to make sure that in the show notes. Can you say that phone number for us one more time again?
623-231-7767.
Love it. Love it. Love it. You ladies are powerful. Are there anything that I missed, everything that I looked for you? What advice would you give that young entrepreneur that is scared? They're nervous, right? They have a viable business, but they don't know what the next step should be. What would advice, any nuggets that left in the hat? You've shared a lot of nuggets tonight. Any final tips that you would leave that young entrepreneur that's wanting to get started?
One of the things I would say is, even being someone who's done this work for years, I still get scared.
Yes.
Just because we've done it, we're seasoned, it doesn't mean we don't get scared, but we also know that sometimes you have to take a leap scared. But again, connecting, you don't have to do it alone. And just like Andrea and I connected, it's one of the things I love about my tribe, not just on the grant side, but Andrea and I also have some other things. But we realized too, like I said, that our families were very important. And so I had gone through breast cancer and some other things, caring for a family member. And I just said, you know what, life is short. And so we are not promised tomorrow. And so some of you have ideas and you've just been afraid. Find a person you can trust. Take some of those steps, and you never know. Sometimes it just takes the step and God's waiting to say, I'll take you the rest of the way. So for me, those are some of the things that just because we're seasoned doesn't mean we don't still struggle, or that we don't need help, or that never be afraid to ask for help. And again, I think in the nation, we set it up so asking for help is wrong, or no, that's courageous. So those are some of the things I would say for anyone.
Yeah. And I would just say, as a couple of business owner of several businesses, allow yourself permission to fail and to get back up and to know that that's just an experience of a learning path that you've gone down. Allow yourself permission. Give yourself permission to be scared. Go through this, go through the fear. Just do it. Especially if it's been placed on your heart. Just do it. Allow yourself.
And to not be in a box, because I didn't even know Andrea. Again, she saw my writing, especially, you never know who is watching. And I've had a couple of people kind of reach out to me, and I didn't know that they were inspired by my writing and had no idea. So sometimes people won't know until you take the step and believe that, you know what, no matter what, I can do this. So just start one step at a time.
Take the leap. Take the leap. Do it.
Yes.
Do it scared. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it. Miss Andrea, you have a true gift. You have a true talent to spot someone by her works. Miss Monica, you are an angel. I want to give you both a big hug. You keep saying it to me, and I keep forgetting. I don't know why, but you keep forgetting. You fought and whooped breast cancer in the butt.
Yeah.
So, sister, I love you. Sisters, you are phenomenal. I want to say this to you publicly. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. We need you. We need what you ladies are doing, and we need the train. The train has left the station, y'all. It's time to get on board or not, and the choice is yours. But here you have two professionals, two incredible women that are taking us on a journey, and we can do this together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I want to say this to you again, ladies. Don't ever quit. We need you, and I love you all. Please don't. Please. I can't wait to see what you all have in store for 2022. This is going to be a phenomenal year for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And let's put it up on the screen. We're going to put it up back on the screen one more time. That workshop. Forgive me. This is the beauty of live, right?
Yeah, the deadline is 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time tonight. So that's 9 o'clock East Coast time. So you still got time to email us so we can get you registered.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the email is right there, info@communitygrantconnectors.com. And that phone number on the screen, 623-231-7767. Connect. Well, that's all I gotta get these ladies back. I gotta get them back to their businesses. They got work to do. But I love you guys. I hope this message was helpful. I hope this helped inspire you and motivated you to take that leap of faith and move forward and press on. And don't ever give up. How I end every show is take care of your friends, take care of your family, and always take care of business. This is Marcus Norman, your favorite gentleman, and the beautiful, the incredible Miss Monica Williams and Andrea Wooten. Signing off. Love you guys.